Hare Krishna. Om Gyan Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna. So we'll just summarize the first few shlokas so that we understand it much more clear. And we'll see what is Prabhupada's point of view from this. So we hear that Lord Kapila he started explaining. So he gives the problem statement. Once we know the problem statement, then we take the solution properly. So now he explains the problem statement. What is the problem he explains? When the living entity is thus unaffected by the modes of materialism because he is unchanging and does not claim proprietorship, he remains apart from creation of modes, although abiding in a material body, just as the sun remains aloof from its reflection on water. So he is continuing from the previous topic. In the previous section, in the previous chapter, if you know, the creation explained how the living entity got get its body because it is nothing to do with the living entity. It is very clear. All these things are given to us. That is a main difference. We are not chemicals. We are a spirit soul and we are given this body. And all these things is creation. Why it helps is like in the modern theories and modern scientific understanding, they feel that we are the body only. This is chemicals we are. But no, chemicals come from outside and given to the body. So that is the first understanding. So then now when you know, then you does not claim proprietorship over it. You know it's coming from somewhere and I have given it. And then next thing what Lord Kapila says, okay, but when the soul is under the spell of material nature and false ego, he identifies with the body. He becomes absorbed in material activity, and by the influence of false ego, he thinks that he is the proprietor of everything. Identification, absorption, and proprietorship. So first he told, then he's explaining this problem statement. Then he explains that how the conditioned soul therefore transmigrates into different species of life. The no Karanam Gunasangasha Sadasad Yoni Janmashu. Then material nature is giving us different bodies based on what is our requirement. Requirement is based on the desire of the living entity. So that is what is explained. The conditioned soul transmigrates into different species because of his association with modes of nature. Unless he is relieved of mental activity, he has to accept. So this what happens when you associate with modes, you develop different desires and accepts this position because of his faulty work. And then next he says that actually a living entity is transcendental to material existence, but because of his mentality of lording. So this mentality of lording is the desire. This is called desire. This is selfishness, selfish desire. So this desire, mentality of lording it over, his material existential condition does not cease, and just as in a dream, he is affected by all sorts of disadvantages. We are also getting affected in this world because we are our desire is there to enjoy. So then it comes, the result is like this. The mentality is Lord is all. And then Lord Kapila says, it is the duty of every conditioned souls to engage this polluted consciousness. Why? Why it is polluted consciousness? This polluted consciousness is also desire only. That is polluted desire, which is now attached to material enjoyment, is very serious devotional service is detachment. Thus, his mind and consciousness will be under full control. Then he says now he is immediately giving the solution also. He said this is the reason you are caught because of your desire to lord it over. And now when you do devotional service, now you now attached to material enjoyment. Enjoyment attached to material enjoyment is desire, right? Now when he seriously performed devotional service, then his consciousness, his mind and consciousness will be under full control. He immediately gave a solution. Now further he says that one has to become faithful by practicing the controlling process of yoga system. So now he is giving the Ashtanga yoga system and must elevate himself to the platform of unalloyed devotion. So from Ashtanga, then again ultimately he has to come to Bhakti only. He's telling, okay, you are doing Ashtanga, then you come. The next shloka he explains that in executing devotional service, one has to see every living entity equally without enmity. So these are all jnana and Ashtanga margas, where you have to practice all these things, seeing every living entity equally without enmity towards uh, anyone, yet without intimate connection with anyone. One has to observe celibacy, be grave, execute his external activities, offering the result to the personality of Godhead. This also we have discussed, and then yesterday we saw this. For his income, a devotee should be satisfied. This is applicable. This is for Jnana Yoga, but it is applicable for all because they are universal principles, always helpful. Should be satisfied with what he earned without great difficulty. He should not eat more than what is necessary. He should live in a secluded place and always be thoughtful, peaceful, friendly, compassionate, and self realized. And this is, we will just complete this purport. We have not completed this. Another word is mitabuk. This means some part of the purport are very important. We have not completely read this, so we'll do it again. Everyone who has accepted a metal body, this is a very important purport also. Metal body must maintain the necessities of the body by acting or earning some livelihood. Very important purport. You see, a devotee should only work for such income as is absolutely necessary. This is the first instruction of Prabhupada. We will try to do this purport again because a very important purport which is we have to apply it in our life. At least theoretically, no. This is the what Prabhupada is trying to explain. The first thing is a devotee should only work for such income as absolutely necessary. This is the first thing. He should be satisfied always with such income and should not endeavor to earn more simply to accumulate unnecessarily. A person in the conditioned state who has no money is always found working very hard to earn some with object of lording it over material nature. And Kapila instruct that we should not endeavor for things which may come automatically without extraneous endeavor. This is very important. The exact word used in this connection, edricha, means that every living entity has a predestined happiness. Please remember this. We should meditate on this. We will not become envious, we will not become competitive, we will be always peaceful. Like now, this modern philosophers, Karl Marx, he says that the advancement in a civilization is because of antagonizing. Like the one community antagonizes other, then there is a progress in society. Then you are competing with each other, and then because of the competition there is a progress. Like you say consumer market, because of the competition the quality of the product increases, the rate of the product decreases because you have to compete with the market. You should make a good car but less price. Another person will make much more good car but the price should also be less. So because of the competition they say there is a growth. But in Vedic culture, then he tried to show with every society like that. He analyzed every society and said. But when he came to Vedic culture, he saw that there is no antagonism only. And the culture is existing for millions of years. He studied, and he kept aside. And he said, no, it is not fitting into his understanding. Why? Because of all these principles. So nice principles are given because in Vedic culture, people have this understanding very clearly. Yadrichaya. Means every living entity has a predestined happiness and distress because they have very clear understanding of this for them and in his present body. This is called law of karma. So they understand this. If they are getting something, even 60, 70 years ago in India also, people very commonly used to use this word. Yeah, your karma is like this and you are going through some situation. So everybody is okay with that. Nobody has any problem. They said, yeah, my karma. And there is no competition because everybody has respect for what others are doing. No, they were not endeavoring so much separately. The Vaishyas are not want to become Kshatriyas. Kshatriyas don't want to become Brahmanas. Everybody is happy with what they are doing. Within themselves, they are working hard, but they are not competing. Brahmana is studying, he studies. Now everybody want to become the same thing. That is a problem. It is not possible that simply by endeavor to accumulate more money, a person will be able to do so. Otherwise, almost everyone would have been at the same level of wealth. This is another point. That simply by endeavors to accumulate more money, a person will not be able to do so. It is not possible because your karma is not there. You will not get it, even though you may endeavor. And if you don't have, if you have good karma, even without endeavoring, also it comes because it's a drichaya. Now the point is, okay, if I don't work, will it happen to me? I will not study for my IIT competitive exams for my college. Will I get it? It is, you still have 20% in that. Like say you are destined to get IIT, but I'll not. Two things happen. One is the material nature will force you to work. Then nahi kachit kshanamapi jatu tishtada karma. Kartehi avashah karma. Sarva prakriti jairgune. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the material nature will force you to act in a particular way. Now I'll say, okay, I will not uh, give class and I will not do anything. So now whatever has to happen will happen to me. It is not possible only. Even though I do it, but I want to give class only. I cannot stop sitting, I can do other things, but I will not do it because for me, this will work like this only. I will be forced by material nature to do certain activities. This is the point to understand. We are forced to act. People say if everybody becomes brahmachari, what will happen? Like this is the argument the parents, my mother also gives. If everybody does not marry, what will happen? But it is not possible only. Same thing. We are like Krishna tells Arjuna, Are Arjuna, you are telling you will not fight now, you will go and beg. When you go for begging, there you will fight. Because your nature is like that. You will be forced to act in a particular way. That means we have to do what we will do, but we will not go for the result. That is the main thing here. Result is not in our hand, action is only in our hand. In reality, everyone is earning and acquiring according to his predestined karma only. This is means people say this is fatalism. No, you are just depending on fate. This is not fatalism. This is actually realism. This is reality. According to Bhagavatam conclusion, we are sometimes faced with dangerous or miserable conditions without endeavor. Tanlabhyate dukkavad anyata sukham. Kalena sarvatra gabiram. Without endeavor, you are getting pleasure. Without endeavoring, we get pain also. Similarly, we have prosperous conditions without endeavoring for them. Like that. We are advised to let these things come as predestined. Let this thing come. We should not engage our valuable time. Now, what will happen when we understand? Then when we know where to use the time properly. Or anyway, it is not going to come even if I make an endeavor. Let me make endeavor in a different direction. We should engage our valuable time in prosecuting Krishna consciousness. In other words, we should be satisfied by his, one should be satisfied by his natural condition. So people ask, na karma yoga, karma yoga. This is actually exact Nishkam karma yoga means. Where a person is satisfied with whatever position he is, whatever he is making. He knows that I just have to work according to my nature and happy being doing that activity. Not like now I should be happy giving class, not with how many people are attending. I should do my things with my heart and that's it. One should be satisfied with his natural condition. If by predestination one is put into certain condition of life which is not very prosperous in comparison to another person, one should not be disturbed. We will not become Ambanis, Adanis, Tatas and Birlas. It is already decided. It is not prosperous compared. He should not be disturbed. It may come, it may not come. He should simply try to utilize his valuable time in Krishna consciousness. Every word Prabhupada is so nicely. We should we should accept the intelligence of Prabhupada, not the intelligence of the so-called people of this world. Who is more intelligent? Prabhupada is more intelligent. And okay, even if you say no, they are more intelligent, but the Prabhupada, what Prabhupada is saying, the formula works. What was my conviction is, I said that when I saw Prabhupada, I said this person is happy. Prabhupada book I read and saw his photo. I said this person is happy. If I follow him, I'll also be happy. So Prabhupada is telling this is only way to become happy. Don't make any endeavor. Our intelligence is cheating us. Advancement in Krishna consciousness does not depend on any material prosperity of distress condition. It is free from the conditions imposed by material life. A poor man can execute Krishna consciousness as effectively as a very rich man. One should therefore be satisfied with his position as offered by the Lord. Don't waste time in making more and more and more and more economic development. This won't work. This is a very valuable instructions Prabhupada is giving, and this is giving it this realization and compassion. We should accept it. Don't waste time. Like after 60, also people are starting new projects, new investments, and after 50, they should not think in that direction only. They should think of how to get rid of whatever you have accumulated. The formula is like that. First you get attached, then you start getting detached. Then you get realization. That is the formula. After 50, we should think how to get rid of all the things I have. We should try to be as simple as possible. You can accumulate, but after 50, no accumulation. Just let accumulation is done by the children and others. We only have to come out of that accumulation. Our attachments and all these things should be reduced more and more. And after 50, you are purchasing more properties, investing more. We are going in a wrong direction. It is very risky. They say, oh, I am doing my sadhana, I am doing my things. But the false ego will not go. What is the problem in accumulation is the false ego is increasing. That is the problem. And it is exactly opposite for bhakti. It's very detrimental. Because if you see the beginning of the chapter, the only reason we are caught is ego. We accumulate more means we are increasing our ego. I have 2 houses, 3 houses, 5 houses, 10 lands, no, 20 this, 30 this, and one wife here, one wife there, children here, children there. It won't work like that. We cannot practice very serious bhakti. Intense bhakti will make us, that is what is the third shloka. By practicing intensely, you will be free from it. That's what is Lord Kapila is telling. It is not my word. It's telling that the conditioned soul therefore transmigrate lower because of his activities, and he says you have to practice intense bhakti. His material conditions does not cease just as a dream. He is affected by the sorts of distresses. Yeah, very serious devotional service. Then we will be free. And serious devotional service is opposite to accumulation. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. That is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us. He told us Vairagya Vidya. We should be free from all these things. No accumulation. No, bro. Investment for children, investment for wife, and that is not actually correct. Let them do it. For ourselves, after some time, finish. This and then the next point, Prabhupada. Another word, this is not my opinion. You can read from Prabhupada Purport again, this para, if you have any doubt on what Prabhupada is. And if follow what Prabhupada says, we'll be happy also. Another, and we may say, oh, what is my social security? Our social security is Krishna. Insurance will be given by Krishna. Whatever we have done, we have done. Now let Krishna take care. Let him decide what should happen. Because like people accumulate, I have seen also people have so much money, and one disease, all their savings are finished, and they are in orphan. And if Krishna wants, he will protect it. He will say, okay, you don't have savings, no, then you don't need this disease also. Sometimes your disease are to take away all the savings so that we will be free from that attachment. Krishna also, for Krishna, I don't have any savings. So Krishna says, okay, you don't have savings, then you don't need this disease also. Sometimes you need the disease to get rid of the savings. So it may happen like that. I don't want to scare, but I'm just telling there is possibility like that. Another word here is Mita book. And that's why Kunti Maharani is telling, no? Shivar my attachment to Pandavas, Vrishnis, so that Tvaime Ananya Vishya Matir Madhupate Sakat Ratim Udhato Madham Gange Oghan Mudanmati. Let my consciousness naturally flow towards you. All these things are no big, big dams we have created. 1 BHK, 2 BHK. The bigger the BHK, bigger the villa, bigger the dam for us to go towards Krishna. Because it's a false ego that is blocking us. It is false ego. We have to very clearly understand. This is not going to help me to go towards Krishna. Because it is Vairagya Vidya. All the Goswamis, they have set the standards. Tektva Turna Masesha Mandalapatim. Why they have to leave it? To set example for us. Another word here is mitabuk. This means that one should eat only as much as necessary to maintain the body and soul together. One should not be wilderness to satisfy the tongue. Grains, fruits, milk, and similar products are allotted for human consumption. One should not be excessively eager to satisfy the tongue and eat that which is not meant for humanity. Particularly, a devotee should eat only prasadam. Only prasadam. Or food which is offered to the personality of God. Very, very important. And nowadays, no, this food also we should be very careful. If the milk products, it is coming uh, from an animal which is very tortured. It is painful. It is unhealthy. By eating that, we cannot be healthy. Nowadays, these dairy products, no, they take from the missions from the milk. So the cow is very unhappy. When we make her unhappy and we take it, then it is not good for our health also and consciousness also. We have to take that karma both ways. It is safe that we avoid dairy products which come in that way unless we know that. That's why better to take from Goshala's milk, which we already know that they don't sell the cows to slaughterhouses after they stop giving milk. All the thing matters. It all affects our consciousness. We have to be very careful. If we are getting from, then if you are not having, then go and take a house near a Goshala. Otherwise, we have to avoid. We can alternative products we have to use. And all these refined oils and all these things are not good for health. I don't want to take a class on health, but you can go through some videos which are very helpful for the health of devotees, because devotees, they should have good health. There is some videos on gut health. I recommend that you hear that videos, which very clearly tells why we should avoid refined oils, why we should avoid sugar, why we should avoid dairy products which we don't know from where it is coming, and better to make our own things. You get milk from proper goshala, make your own ghee and curd, and all these things are very, very important and to know. And timing of eating, what type of, especially canned food, packet food, very, very, very dangerous. All the preservatives, they're going to not only spoil the body but the mind also, which is not good for our bhakti. Previously it worked, like previous ages people had not much problem with. Nowadays now people, because of their greed, they don't mind uh, they don't mind adultery in the food because they are working with profit. They don't mind damaging the nature because they are interested in their profits and economic gain. Previously, it was not like that. People are responsible. Now, people are not responsible. So, we have to take care of ourselves. His position is to accept the remnants of those foodstuffs Innocent food like grains, vegetables, fruits, flowers, and milk preparations are offered to the Lord. And therefore, there is no scope for offering foods which are in mode of passion and ignorance. And another important thing is like the most non-violent food is actually milk, because even in vegetables also you have to cut it from the plants, you have to cut the crop, taking the paddy and wheat, we have to cut it. So there is some violence involved. Only non-violent food is milk, but now that is also violent, unfortunately, because they put the machines and take out the milk. Even the blood also comes from that. Cow does not give out of love. When a owner takes care of the cow nicely, even after the calf drinks the milk, after the calf is grown up also, still for many years the cow gives milk for the owner, out of love for the owner. That's why, because it comes out of love, it is the most non-violent and safest food. Because love, the food is connected with love. What we get from love is when mother, she gives the milk, feeds the child, then along with that milk, na, we also get that love. The child experiences the love of mother, the selflessness through milk. That's why we identify love with food. In general, people eat more than what they need, because for us, love means food, because we got love from mother in that way only. That's why we are so much interested in it. Aramadhya Jihvayati is the most, we have that connection. Now, when mother is cooking at home or we are cooking at home and offering to the deities and eating, that is the most safest, because it is not just nourishment for the body, it should be nourishment for the mind and the soul also. And that is possible only it is cooked in a proper consciousness. We are taking from outside and no, we are trying to order from Swiggy, Zomato, all these things is the most detrimental, not only for the body, for the mind also, because it's all how they cook, what oil they use. There is no guarantee of anything. And what consciousness, even if it is just displayed in the store and people are looking at it and then you eat, then also that is contaminated, that is defiled only. And of course, many things are there like that. But I just wanted to give few points. A devotee should not be greedy. It is also recommended that devotee should be muni or thoughtful. He should always think of Krishna and how to render better service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are 2 points in this. When it is said the devotee is muni, it is thoughtful. Very important. We discussed this also. 3 levels is there. One is you hear, one is contemplate, and one is realize. Shravanam, Manan, Nididhyasanam. At least we should the level of Mananam. That is, we can continue without living Krishna consciousness. If a person is thoughtful, he should start thinking what exactly is happening here. Then he will remain a brahmachari, means minimum thoughtful. If he is thoughtful, he can remain brahmachari whole life, because he will see, he will identify things separately. This is a quality we should develop. That's why Prabhupada is here, Kapilamani is a monk, is thoughtful. He should always think. And second is, now he should think of rendering service to Krishna. This is also another important thing. That should be his only anxiety. Prabhupada is so merciful. The only anxiety we should have is how to render service to Krishna. Only anxiety. No other anxieties in life. As a materialist is always thoughtful about improving his material condition, a devotee's thought should always be engaged in improving his condition in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, he should be one. The next recommendation is that a devotee should live in a secluded place. Generally, a common man is interested in pounds and shillings and penny or materialistic advancement in life, which is unnecessary for a devotee. A devotee should select a place of residence where everyone is interested in devotional service. Generally, therefore, a devotee goes to a sacred place of pilgrimage where devotees live. It is recommended that he live in a place where there is no large number of ordinary men. It is very important to live in a secluded place. Vivikta Sharana. The next item is Shanta. We have to be aspiring to live in a farm community where devotees are there, or in Vrindavan, or some place. Our settlement in future should be in such a way that we are in a community of devotees or near devotees, or in a place where we don't have much disturbance. Shantar, a devotee should not be agitated. He should be satisfied with his natural income. Eat only as much as he needs to keep his health. Live in a secluded place and always remain peaceful. Peace of mind is necessary for persecution of Krishna, prosecuting Krishna consciousness. Peace is very important. Maitri is friendliness. A devotee should be friendly to everyone, but his intimate friendship should be with the devotees only. With others, he should be official. Very important. With others, he should be official. Very determined. You may say, yes, sir, what you say is all right, but he is not intimate with them. A devotee should, however, have compassion for persons who are innocent, who are neither atheistic nor very much advanced in spiritual realization. A devotee should be compassionate towards them and instruct them as far as possible in making advancement in Krishna consciousness. A devotee should always remain Atmavan or situated in a spiritual position. We should not forget that the main concern is to make advancement in spiritual consciousness or Krishna consciousness. Very, we should not ignorantly identify himself with body, with Atma, and he should remain in pure consciousness. The next instruction, Kapil is what he's giving is trying to help him how to come out of the situation. The problem is because of false ego. He said, okay, do intense bhakti. And after that, after Ashtanga Yoga, you come to the level of bhakti where you do hearing and chanting. And then he's giving certain principles, yamas and niyamas. Okay, these are the things you follow, which is favorable for your practices. One seeing power should be increased through knowledge, Shastra Chakshu. We should not see with directly. Like any incident happened, and nowadays in the news channels and all, any incident happened, they call a panel and everybody discusses. Nobody discusses on Shastra Chakshu. You see the problem with all these people now. They say, oh, this situation is because of this problem, this problem, this problem, society problem. So many point of view they say, but they don't say one thing. What? They don't say Shastra Chakshu. Increase through knowledge. This is the difference. We have to always see with Shastra Chakshu. That's why we need not waste our time with hearing all this. This is all bogus only, no value. Because they are not seeing through Shastra. Like say now in Calcutta we had some issue with the doctor, some girl was killed. And then there will be some other issue, some other issue. Now, what is Shastra Chakshu? Yeah, this is lust, Dhyayato Vishyan Pumsa. And so many other things like Bhaktivinoda Thakur now, all the anarthas which he has listed in the demons of whom Krishna killed. You can see so subtly he explained all these things. That is what is Shastra Chakshu. We have to identify like that. One should not unnecessarily identify himself as body and thus become attached to body relationship. The conditioned souls are eager to identify with body and consider that the body is myself and that anything in relation with the body or possessions of body is mine. Now another important is like wars are there. What is the cause of war? Prabhupada is because of slaughterhouses. That is Shastra Chakshu. And there are some very nice philosophers also. He said, as long as you slaughter animals, there will be war. Not Shastra also. Some people got this realization. Even outside middle people, a very famous person, I think. He makes even Bernard Shaw. They are also almost like Shastra Chakshu only. He gives such a nice statements, Dr. Bernard Shaw. Almost like Shastra Chakshu, yes. Because they are given some intelligence by Paramatma inside. And in Sanskrit, this is called aham mameti. This is called dehatma buddhi. It is a root cause of our condition. person should see things as a combination of matter and spirit. And the next one should be situated in the transcendental position beyond the stages of material consciousness and should be aloof from all other conception of life, thus realizing freedom from where? False ego. One should see his own self just as he sees the sun in the sky. All the problem is false ego. So don't increase the false ego. Don't accumulate. Not safe. We should not accumulate. Some basic minimum and rest. Let Krishna take care. Don't waste time. Now, another important problem where it comes now, why people are engaged in material activity, because they don't have any challenging engagement in Krishna consciousness. That is another problem. If you have a challenging engagement with Krishna, then we'll not get engagement in material activities because we are satisfied. I don't have time only. Oh, I have to do this is for Krishna. Then where is the time for material activity? Because we don't have challenging engagement. That's why preaching is very important. Keep on preaching. It is safe. Consciousness acts in three stages under the material conception of life. When we are awake, consciousness acts in a particular way. When we are asleep, it acts in a different way. And when we are deep sleep, the consciousness acts in a still another way. So this is very important. To become Krishna conscious, one has to become transcendental to the three stages. Our present consciousness should be free from all perception of life other than consciousness of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. This is called Dhuri Bhutaya Darshanaha, which means that one when one attains perfect Krishna consciousness, he does not see anything but Krishna. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that the perfect devotee may see many movable and immovable objects, but in everything he sees that the energy of Krishna is acting. As soon as he remembers the energy of Krishna, he immediately remembers Krishna in his personal form. Therefore, Stavara Jangamadeki Nadeki Tara Spurti. Sarvatra Hoye Ishta Deva Spurti. Therefore, in all his observation, he sees Krishna only. In Brahma Samhita, it is a Premanjana Churita. So we need to have this Chakshu Seva Krama. As we see that sun, without a doubt, one who is fully developed in Krishna consciousness, he also can see this and the false ego is removed. Then the senses automatically become purified. A liberated soul realizes the absolute personality of Godhead, who is transcendental and who is manifested as a reflection, even in the false ego. He's the support of material cause and he enters into everything. He is absolute, one without a second, and he is the eye of all illusory energy. A pure devotee sees the presence. Now, what happens once you realize? Then you come to the next stage of realizing the Supreme Lord, who is transcendental, who is a manifest as a reflection even in false ego. So, he sees the Supreme. First, we realize ourselves, I am not the body, and then we realize the Supreme Lord, who is support of the material cause, and he enters into everything, one without a second. And Prabhupada writes, this is a important point to understand. When we start seeing the Supreme Lord in everything, yesterday also we discussed, then only we'll be able to develop love for him. Otherwise, not possible. Love is when we see how Lord is there everywhere, how he is related to me, how he is manifesting everywhere, he is proportionate to love we get. The pure devotee sees the presence of personality God in everything materially manifested. That is the point. See, a pure devotee is seeing. That's why he is able to develop love. We have to see. There is no question of exploitation. We have to see this. He is present there only as a reflection. But a pure devotee can realize that in the darkness of material illusion, the only light is the Supreme Lord, who is its support. The Lord is matter, Lord is a supporter of matter, the resultant is matter, everything goes into the Lord. That is the matter, everything goes. So everything is Supreme Lord only for a devotee. It is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita that the background of material manifestation is Lord Krishna. The manifestation itself is Krishna, the background is Krishna, the effect is Krishna, and then everything goes back to Krishna. Krishna is the cause of all causes, that's why. In Brahma it is stated the Supreme Lord, by his partial and plenary expression, is present not only within the users in each and every universe, but in every atom. Although he is one without a second, the word Advayam, without a second, which is used in this verse, indicate that although the Supreme Personality of God is represented in everything, including the atoms, he is not divided. That is another. He is he's so huge, and he has a form also. How is it possible? He is everywhere with a form. That is the point. The presence of Supreme Lord can be realized just as the sun is realized first as a reflection on the water and again as a second reflection on the wall of the room. Although the sun itself is situated in the sky. It is two levels of reflections. One is on the water, one is on the from the water to the wall. Here in the creation also, Prabhupada writes this. The example given herein is perfect. The sun is situated in the sky, far, far above from the surface of, but its reflection can be seen in a pot of water in the corner of room. The room is dark and the sun is far away, but the sun's reflection on the water illuminates the darkness of room. A pure devotee can realize the presence of Supreme Personality God in everything by the reflection of his energy. It is said that the presence of fire is understood by heat and light. So the personality of God, although one without a second, is perceived everywhere by the diffusion of different energy. It is confirmed in Ishopanishad. The presence of Lord is perceived everywhere by the liberated soul, just as the sunshine and the reflection can be perceived everywhere, although the sun is situated far away from the surface of the earth. Yeah, tomorrow I'm traveling, so tomorrow we'll not have proper purpose. Day after tomorrow we'll see mostly. Day after tomorrow I will be able to give. We may have 1 day or 2 day break. Thank you all very much. Any questions, comments? We'll end.